on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Thursday. Welcome into the morning hookup. We'll have justice on the ones and twos. We'll have a third person here at some point.
Hopefully.
Think he's prepping for his weekend.
He might be. Might have gotten some late packing done. Maybe was up a little late and then had to, make some corrections, get to bed late. But that's okay. We rock and we roll. It's the way we go.
That's what we do. But welcome in. A lot of good stuff today we're going to get to. NBA Finals Game 1. Woo-wee! Did the Knicks steal it or did the Spurs give it away? Which one was it? I think yes could be the answer to both those.
Yeah, I thought the Spurs were feeling a little charitable last night.
I think they could do both of those out there.
I think the Knicks also went and took it. That's kind of the New York nature.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it goes.
I think you're – look at this. He's rolling. Yes, that's the answer.
Yep, that's the answer.
No, you want you.
No.
He wants him to go.
Yeah,
you go over there.
I'm going over there. Yep.
You go to the timeout chair. We're switching it up. We'll have Justice back here momentarily. He's going to roll over and do a little. We're going to call it side work on the other side. But we got Elijah Herbal. He's going to hit up on the ones and twos now. As like I said, we're going to have NBA talk, NHL talk, Women's College World Series got off to a big start yesterday. We're going to circle the diamond in Major League Baseball. And we'll have Brian Munson today, 10/20th. Brian Munson, HuskerOnline.com, as a massive weekend for Nebraska football on the recruiting side. Talk about that. There's big man camp coming up there at Nebraska as well. We'll talk about that. And a whole lot of you guys. Feel free to call 402-489-1240 on a ominous looking Thursday outside where it looks like maybe some storms are going to be rolling through the next couple of days. So we'll get to all of that today. Good morning, Elijah.
Morning.
How are you?
I hate packing.
You know what? That's funny. We're like, well, he'll be here. He's got a star-studded weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably late night laundry, late night packing.
It was late night laundry followed by early morning packing. What a start to this show.
Yeah, sorry, I had to close that.
Everyone running.
Just walks out. He doesn't close the door.
Yeah.
I don't like the door being open when we're doing shows.
It depends how hot it is in there.
Yeah, if it's hot, yes. But it's just hallway talk.
It gets loud in that hallway.
It does. Well, it depends on who's talking. I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say.
We both know who we're referring to.
Yes. That's all I hear.
But late night laundry, some early morning packing. I'm still not even ready. I got to go home and pack more, but we'll be good to go.
That's okay. You're here. We're happy you're here.
We'll be ready to ride.
Because you got one coming up.
And I don't know with this weather. I know.
Yeah, the travel down might be a little.
That's kind of what I'm looking at. We'll see. It can't be as bad as my drive home from Chicago.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be I don't think it's dicey. I mean, there's potential for severe weather.
Generally annoying.
Yes, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Even today, you're looking around going, man, they're calling from rain from 11 to 5 today or something. It might be longer.
I said this a couple days ago. After Mother Nature gave us no rain for the first 2 months of spring through March and April. She went, all right, you want some rain? Watch this.
You want to complain about it being dry? Don't worry, I got you.
How does rain every day sound to you?
Yeah. I'm annoyed by it today. I'm annoyed by it today because for me, it is the opening night of Golf League. I'm annoyed. I'm excited. I get excited about the Golf League stuff. I'm with my best friend. We play together on the 9-hole event. But the competitive juices get going where we have a good time with it. We're not like super serious, but it's like you go mano-a-mano with another playing, person you're playing against. It gets flowing a little bit. So I'm annoyed just because it's probably going to rain it out. Week 1, rain out.
Well, as long as there's no lightning and it's not like downpour.
Yeah, I also don't like to get wet. Can we just caveat that too? I don't like it. I get annoyed by that too. Being wet, then your golf glove is wet. How do you keep the club? I mean, just annoying. I'd rather it be like this, either not rain or just absolutely pour.
Rain so much that there's just no
we're done.
Yeah.
Not out there. We're going to fight through the conditions of blah, blah. And you got to get the cart cover put on and the rain pants. I'm annoyed. Then you got like grass. Again, first world problems, but then you got like grass stuck to all your shoes and your feet. Yuck.
First world problems for sure.
But welcome in.
There's something nice to be said about getting out and golfing when it is lightly raining.
Yeah.
Because
sure,
the course is empty. You'll never have better pace of play.
Sure.
Than when it's lightly raining out there.
Yeah.
People don't want to.
This is stacked field. Like our league is stacked. Our league's a stacked field.
So they'd show up.
Oh, like we're the 11B. We're on it covers the men's league and covers the entire golf course. And a lot of holes have too. Like we're 11B.
Oh, so you're
the second group. So it's not five.
Shotgun start, I assume?
Yeah, shotgun, but it's supposed to be 5:30 is the A groups, and then we'll go at like 5:45. Now, I did tell my partner, my best friend, that said, hey, here's the deal. I've already mapped out the time today. I'll still meet you there. Rain or not, we can still hang out and just have a couple. You already got the time in the calendar, right? Spouses can't take that back, can they? Question mark?
As an unmarried man, that's for you to find out.
Yeah. It's been almost 26 years. It'll be 26 years this month. So, I mean, it's,
congrats.
Yeah, a few days, 20 days away from 26 years. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So you guys were married and I was just over a year old?
Yeah. You know why that's so significant 26 years ago? It's the last time the Knicks were in the finals.
Wow.
How about that?
Also, last time you guys were planning your wedding, you guys were worried if the world was still going to be surviving with computers.
Y2K, baby.
Wow.
26 years ago, the last time the Knicks were in the finals. Last night, game 1.
You had an easy anniversary to remember.
Oh, boy, this is the best thing ever. So, again, we're going to talk the Knicks here in a minute because the question being to that game is, did the Knicks steal it or did the Spurs give it away? Yes, could be both to those. We were actually on schedule. So, like, going through our wedding process, and we were young, all right? We were younger. I was married at 22 years of age, which that is not normal anymore, I don't think.
Still happens, but no.
Still happens, but it's a rarity. We were like, and then as we were young, going through the wedding planning process, people were like, you got to do it like this and do it like this and do it like that. And we're like, well, why? And it just came down like, why don't we just get married next year? Why do we have to wait 2 years? Because originally it was like this same date in 2001. No, we want to get married now. So it's perfect. Now I don't have to. I'm like, what year is it? 2026. Doom, almost 26 years. It's perfect.
That makes it pretty easy.
It does.
Yeah.
But now, for the last, good gosh, 10 years, probably 8 years, probably 8 years. It's just been on the baseball field. So we celebrate that way, which will be like that way this year too. So 26 years ago, like I said, the Knicks were in the finals. The last time they were there, the Spurs beat them in 5 in that series. Boy, the tale of 2 different games last night. Spurs out big. Brunson goes down, a little hurt. And then all of a sudden, boom, second half happened, fourth quarter happened to them. Victor Wembanyama, not the star of stars last night. When you look at his line, it is going to show 26 and 12, but that's not the story for him. It's 6 of 21. 12 of those 26 were at the line. His supporting cast wasn't as good as we talked about yesterday. And Brunson had a bone to pick with people saying he's not a superstar. The fourth quarter last night, he was magnificent. He goes 12 of 31, by the way. 31 shots, but 30 and 3. Towns, 18 and 12. OBG gets you 17. And a big, big fourth quarter where the Spurs only scored 19 points in it and under 100 points for the game.
That was where I was going to go with this, where it was the Knicks defensively in the fourth quarter that won this game. I mean, they found themselves down by midway through the third. It was what, 6 or 8 points?
Yep, it was about 6 points. I think it was I mean, it was 8 points. I think they were down 8 going into the fourth.
Yeah, but most of that second half though, Knicks playing from behind, but they were just the better second half team. Simple as that. Came out of that.
Oh, bless you.
Bless me. Thank you.
Well, you mentioned that second half. It was 57-40 second half.
Second half, Knicks just took control. And it was the defense that really locked up. I was interested. We talked about how the Knicks were going to have something up their sleeve for Victor Wembanyama. He looked just out of sorts in the second half. Defensively uncomfortable. There were some shot contests on Victor Wembanyama that made him actually look like he was feeling the pressure of a hand in the face, which is very, very rare. I thought the Knicks just did a great job rallying to him. It was they were doing some soft double teams on the inside, whereas when Wembanyama's kind of locked up in the lane, it takes up some space in the lane. So I feel like you get these drives to the elbow, and then guys would kind of sit at the elbow and not know what to do with themselves in the second half. Justice is a better basketball brain than myself. So maybe he can dissect what the Knicks were specifically doing on the defensive end. But I thought it was the defense in the second half that won the game, and specifically the defense in the fourth quarter. And yeah, Brunson hit some big shots down the stretch, but it was the defense that won the Knicks that game. And it's the defense that I think was the first punch that they threw in that series, where now we get to figure out what is the chess move that the Spurs make in retaliation in game 2.
And that's what we talked about, right? Yesterday was about checkers. Now it's about chess. And how do you get your star going? How do you spark that situation? You look at that 36% shooting for the night for the Spurs. Only had one. You look at their shot totals, only one player on that team over 50% shooting last night. That was Harper. Harper was 6 of 10. The likes of your supporting cast going 5 of 11, 4 of 11. Darren Fox, 3 of 13. Overall, fantastic. I think on the other side, I think you're talking about the defensive effort. You could probably look no further than Hart last night. Hart was really good. His plus 22 last night.
Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yes, Towns.
Who's the guy we had circled in this?
Yeah, if you look at those plus minuses, plus 22 for Hart, plus 14 for Towns. Hart had 15 boards. They had 27 boards between the two of them.
I mean, it's strange to say, and if you're a box score watcher, you might not feel this, like except for the plus minus. It kind of shows itself. I wouldn't go as far as to say I think Karl-Anthony Towns outplayed Wembanyama, but he played to Wembanyama's level. He kind of eliminated him.
He kept him at
game.
Bay, right? He kept him where he needed to keep him.
And he got enough offensively that I say, you know what, that was from a big man battle. That was even. They stagnated each other and let the role players go, or I guess the surrounding cast be the ones that go win the game. And if they can do that across a 7-game series, the Knicks will win this series. Because what they have 1 through 4, I like better than what the Spurs have 1 through 4. I just thought the Spurs had a huge advantage at the 5 spot with Wembanyama. And what last night showed me was, I don't think so. And again,
not so much.
And this isn't just Karl-Anthony Towns. I think it was a great defensive team effort from the Knicks. But now we get to figure out, it's on the Spurs now to throw a counterpunch in game 2. How do you get Wembanyama going? Because if Wembanyama is not out playing Karl-Anthony Towns, which I kind of thought was a given, this is the Knicks series to lose. If Wembanyama can just play even with Karl-Anthony Towns can just play even with Wemby through the series. I love what the Knicks have with Hart, Anunoby, Brunson, Bridges. I like that a lot more than Vassell, Champagne, Castle, Fox. Like, it's a well-constructed roster. We talked about it yesterday. I think the Knicks have done a better job constructing their roster. They just don't have a guy like Wemby. Whenever you can take Wemby out of the game, or at least find somebody that can match what he brings you.
Yep.
It's advantage Knicks.
It just, to me also, you look at the intangible type stuff, it just looked like the Knicks played with more energy. They just played with more. You look at Hart. I mentioned Hart, right? 15 boards. He's 6'5". Hustle stats last night for him.
How much of that is the fact that they did not have to play a game 7?
I don't know. You know what? I tell our baseball kids this in certain moments. Regardless of the situation, whatever, you're in the finals. There should be nothing that we need to do or say to have you get up for this game. Like whatever. Who cares? You played 7 games. You didn't play a game 7. It's the finals. It's game 1. It is statement time. I don't buy into that. Wemby's a star. You need to have that ability to find a way to get things done in those moments. Brunson looked like the star. Right? Brunson sees the moment. That's what you were expecting from the Spurs side. jacked up home crowd. Like the Knicks played like the favorite to win this whole thing last night. Maybe they were playing with a little chip on their shoulder, a little disrespect, because they looked, I think I read they looked to become the biggest long shot to win the NBA Finals in history. But they played like that. Brunson played like the megastar of this series, because that's when it's supposed to happen. Whatever game 1 through whatever, fourth quarter Magic, he gave it to you. The Knicks stepped up, they gave it to you. So I don't buy into it. Like, and again, at this point of the season, I have people are talking about, well, Wemby looked out of sorts. He looked tired. You can be tired after this series is over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody in the series at this juncture, those two teams, they're all beat up. They're all tired. It doesn't matter. You got to find a way to be the star.
Long series, though.
It's a long series. This isn't over. Come on. It's one game. It sent shocks, right? It's like, whoa. Maybe the Knicks can do this.
And I wonder how much of this was our preconceived notions going into the playoffs as well. Our preconceived notion going into the playoffs was the West was so much better than the East.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
we talked about it.
By and large, I think that's true. But is there the possibility that the Knicks are just so much better than everyone else in the East that it does not matter? The Knicks made it look easy going through the East. Should we have put more weight on that performance? Because we just kind of sit back and said, you know what, the East wasn't very good this year.
Yeah, maybe. But again, it's also, they're rolling. There's something about momentum when you're rolling that just keeps permeating throughout game after game after game.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like I said, maybe some of that is the East, but maybe some of that is the Knicks are for real.
Yeah.
You look at that and go, man, they're coming into this series, their differential in the playoffs is 19.4. That's probably a real stat now. That's not because the East was down.
It's because the Knicks are good.
Or weak. The Knicks are good. And it's constructed. I believe you talked about that yesterday, what the Knicks do, how they constructed that roster. He's looking pretty good.
Before we wrap up this conversation here on the finals, I do also want to give a tip of the cap to ABC. First time in a while that an NBA Finals game, that the TV presentation has felt big.
Ooh, like the old days on NBC?
It felt big. And it's a simple thing, but part of that was just getting Larry O'Brien back on the floor. That gave it that different feel. But my problem with the NBA Finals of the last couple of years is it has felt just like a Saturday night NBA game where, yeah, there's some extra fans there. It's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting. That national television broadcast. This was one that felt like, I mean, the last time I remember the finals feeling as big as what they made game 1 feel like was probably all those Cavs and Warriors series in the late 2010s.
You think it's because of the presentation on NBC, but also it's new blood. There's new teams there. It's the changing of the guard a little bit. The Spurs, like we talked about yesterday, like the Knicks, historic, 26 years ago, right? The old battles, the Knicks are finally back. Because I think the Knicks are one of those teams that when they're good, the NBA is better. They just carry that iconic brand. Then you got on the other side, the classy organization of the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama. Can he emerge and when and if he ends up, if he does win the finals, is he now the face of the NBA? Right? It's that turnover time. I feel like there's interest from me as a casual watching fan because of that. Like, I don't want to fast forward so far, but they got a game 2 in a couple days or tomorrow. But I'm telling you right now, what I'm looking forward to as a casual watching fan is watching game 3. From the Garden, what that's going to be like, that iconic return to the Garden after 26 years. Whew.
Oh, it's going to be
that's going to be bonkers.
And think about how bonkers it's going to be if the Knicks are up 2-0.
They go up 2-0. Man, I got goosebumps just saying what it's going to be like. Like, can you hear the old NBC theme music coming up from the finals? Right? Can you just hear it? I think some of that has piqued a lot of interest for people. Maybe if you're like myself, you're just an NBA guy that casually watches it and goes, oh, the finals are on. Now I'm going to lock in and watch the finals and see who the champ's going to be. But now you add those two in. Because I think it might be less if it was I don't know. Give me two. Like if the Lakers made it or if Houston made it on the West, right? And then you look on the other side, it's like
T-Wolves, Cavs.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, okay. All right. You know, I mean, you'd watch, but it wouldn't be at the peak of interest you have now because of what's happening. But I agree with you. NBC, keep it up, though. Don't lay down on this.
It was just, it felt like a big-time NBA Finals game again. So, hat tip.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, big game 2 in the NHL. I think it's a big one if you're Carolina, right? Hopefully it's not one of those where you got a 2-0 goal lead snatched from you, what the response is going to be like. Let's talk about that a whole lot more when we return. Whew. Hello, maybe some weather coming in today, huh? What up, Floodix? I said, hopefully the chicken queen not listening. Whew. She's not. She's busy this morning. So many years of marriage. There's calculated real talk. You got to know when they're unavailable and when they're not and when they are. She ain't listening right now. She's got a lot of stuff going on. Justice doesn't look very locked in.
It's no good.
Oh, he is. He's kind of is. He's peeking at him. Now I got his interest. He's looking over. He's like, I want to be on the morning hookup. I'm not talking about that. I don't want to talk about that. Uh-oh. He's standing up. It's like 9:30 and I have anxiety and anticipation of golf league.
I did go get 9 in last night.
Yeah, I had to go.
I logged on 18 birdies, but it's nothing I want to talk about. I show us my name said Justice Rody that entire first segment. Whoops.
Jeez.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to the morning hookup. You like brought in the inner weekend vibe. I feel like this is like a song you can rock with this weekend, Elijah. Late night. Yeah, I feel like you could rock with this on the weekend. Justice and I had questions for the weekend for you as we'll get to it. Coming up. We're going to talk NHL still coming up. Tonight, game 2. Oh, Women's College World Series. How you do? Justice, welcome back.
Great to be back.
I got a peek at you, making sure you were engaged over there.
Oh, we were engaged. We were into it. We were talking ball. We're talking ball. Old Coach Saban's in Capitol Hill. He gussied up in his best Who Farted t-shirt, walked out there and gave a nice little talk about what the state of college sports is, and he thinks it sucks.
Yeah, he did a little dusting over there in Capitol Hill.
Yeah, Elijah, you got gussied up in the Who Farted t-shirt and just showed up at Capitol Hill. That's the way you do it.
Who did it? Who done did it?
Get her done.
Elijah was rocking like a song for the weekend for him, man. Did you hear that stuff?
A little Soulja Boy?
Yeah.
I dig it. Because I started off with Mike Jones, and it was we were going hard and heavy right there. That was good stuff.
That'd be songs for the weekend, man.
Mike Jones?
What? I do have I know you're going to, man, Elijah's not going to be here tomorrow. He's embarking on a journey down a little south of here.
North.
Sorry, north. You're right. North.
Yeah.
North. I don't even know where I'm at today. It's Thursday.
Hooksy's on the moon.
Look, man, I've been asking what day it was since Monday. I don't even know.
That's the summer, baby.
You have like obstacles this weekend, though.
Oh,
you have a lot going on, but like I wrote down food for you because you're on the diet still.
Yeah.
How you rocking that this week, man? But like,
I've sent out some texts to people that are going to be out there and see who wants to get up for some morning workouts with me. I was looking, I'm like, I won't give any free shout outs, but I go to a national
chain of gyms.
A national chain of gyms that is known for having a lot of
Robo Gym.
Copy paste gym.
They're known for having some interesting characters work out in there and being very difficult to cancel. I enjoy them, let it be known. But they don't have any locations in Okoboji. So I was like trying to figure out, like, hey, man, how am I going to get in some workouts? So I'm doing some push-ups and sit-ups in the room, maybe going on some runs. Going on some jogs.
Yeah, you're running around that lake.
You got that part, but how's the chicken and rice going to go?
We're just going to have to work out hard. It's as simple as that.
The more you eat, the more you burn.
I did consider, I was sitting back, I'm like, I could pack dinner for the roadie tonight. And then once I'm there, I'm there. But
it's a bachelor weekend. You got to unwind a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to unwind just a little bit, but you can also make smart cheat decisions,
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to have a cheat weekend, you can be smart about how you cheat.
Better go burn it.
Exactly.
Get a little David Goggins in you. Just run until you fall over, pick yourself back up, and run more.
Where are we going today? We're going to this place. Wait a minute. Can we go in an hour? I got to get one in.
We're going to the sports bar? Not before I get my laps in.
Yeah, because your agenda is kind of wide open. You got to mix in and go, yours is like the ladies you said yesterday. It's all like 11 o'clock, 11:15, 11:35, whatever. And you're like, wake up late. What does late mean? Sports bar? See you there.
My good buddy Kip even can talk to. He's like, I can bring the kettlebells if you want to get some workouts. I'm like, that might not be the worst solution in the world,
especially on like swimsuit day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go out to the lake.
Bring some cleats so I can run some sprints.
Dear gosh.
Just get some shuffles in. Get back to the old lineman days. Let me see that kick step.
Some pass sets in the front yard at 7 a.m.
Yeah. Let's see how the girls stay on routine when I block the cars. Let's see that.
Can you video doc this weekend for us, please?
Somebody asked the same question.
Yeah, we need video.
But on like a 2000s camcorder.
Yeah,
we
need to rock and like Saved by the Bell type stuff.
You guys remember whenever I had I went down to Phoenix / Scottsdale for New Year's Eve?
Yeah,
and we had backyard hibachi.
Yeah,
you guys remember this?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to avoid a similar situation here.
No, I think we need epic stuff.
I think pass sets to block the girls from the car and disrupt the routine would be hilarious.
Just a good old session, a weekend session of Yo MTV Cribs.
The wedding is still upcoming. I don't want to get blocked from that.
That's all right. As long as you're with someone who else gets blocked, you guys can go block away.
Double team.
Yeah, there you go.
You're working up to linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get up to the third level. It's about time somebody from Nebraska did that.
Hat on a hat.
There's the big man camp this weekend. We're going to talk to that with Brian Munson coming up. Let's see if he has any suggestions for you about how to get to the next level.
Yeah, it says anchor that thing.
Are we talking getting to the next level as in me going and playing college football or me getting up to linebacker?
Getting up to the linebacker.
Okay. I think the days of me getting up to the next level.
Are you kidding me? With NIL and rev share, you can find a spot if it's there.
Do I have eligibility left?
Have you competed in college
athletics at all?
Doesn't matter. If I have a degree, can I still go back?
Yeah. Dude,
that's cool.
Dude, Monte Harrison played baseball and then went and played football.
But he didn't go to college.
But there are examples of guys who have played like a college sport. Like what about J.R. Smith? who actually competed.
Then he came back for golf.
Yeah. Well,
because he only used was it 1 year's eligibility?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So. Yeah, it's the same thing with there's the Major League Baseball player, 8 years Major League Baseball.
I think it's
coming back to play. No, he's there, but there's another one coming back to SMU at age 26.
But again, he didn't go to college.
Didn't go to college.
So that was my question.
There's grad stuff there for you.
Also, I don't think I'm going to be a college athlete anytime soon.
I don't know. You've been working out like it.
We'll give you a month with Corey Campbell. We'll see how you turn out.
I'm not the athlete I used to be.
It's okay.
And the athlete I used to be wasn't nothing special.
None of us are as well. So, all right, man. Hey, how about a big one tonight? Game 2. Dropping the puck around 7 o'clock. Knights, Hurricanes. Hurricanes big favorites again at home. Chess match has to be played tonight, doesn't it?
Well, this flips because Vegas was not the favorite at home in game 1. Oh, sorry, no, this is still in court. Because
still in court. Doesn't it go? Is it 2-2-1-1-1 or are they 2-3-2?
I think they're 2-2-1-1-1 again.
Okay. So yes, we're still in Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. Minus 160 tonight for the Hurricanes.
Canes are the favorite. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. There we go. Based on what I saw in game 1, I think the value would be, if I was a betting man, the value would be on Vegas tonight, right? Now, you would think Carolina would be the slightly more desperate team to go get a win in front of the home fans, because if you go down 2-0 with 2 games upcoming in Vegas, good luck, Carolina. So the Carolina will be the team probably playing with more intensity, but I also said that about the Avs last series, and Vegas showed the same intensity game in, game out.
I think for Carolina, there needs to be an edge here. I think it's like a mental edge. Yeah. They look like the faster team, and it still didn't matter. And listen, Vegas was jaw-jacking a little bit. Okay, they were running the mouths. You know how some of those guys get. Especially Jack Eichel. You know how some of those guys get. Mitch Marner can run it a little bit. Mark Stone's going to come off the fourth line. He'll check you into the boards. Like, you're going to need to have an edge tonight if you're Carolina, because the mental mind games right now have swung in favor of Vegas with game 1.
Well, and same thing happened in the Western Conference Finals. Vegas is experienced, veteran-laden, a lot of guys that have made a lot of Stanley Cup runs. They know how to get under your skin. They know how to get inside your head. And if you win that mental battle early, the series is over. Simple. I think once you get late in the playoffs in the NHL side of things, Western Conference Finals and Stanley Cup Finals, the mental battle might be more important than the physical battle.
I wonder how, Carolina, because you look at games like game 1, the home team getting off to a fast start. Like, how do you the mental side of this thing, right? The mental side of this, you start out with a goal in 25 seconds. You're up 2-0, seemingly cruising a little bit. You got punched in the mouth. You're down 3-2. You battle back. The longer the Knights stay around in a game in game 2, the better they're going to get. So it's like, Carolina, how do you respond to that start and keep it away from Vegas tonight?
Well, I think
because in pressure situations like this, because I think the pressure is back on Carolina. It started with Vegas being on the road, right? Trying to take up home ice. But now the pressure is back to here. You, as Carolina, I mean, this could be Vegas, whoever, but this is the home team cannot leave home ice down 0-2. There's no way. And then the pressure mounts to that point, and then Carolina needs to stay within themselves and play their hockey.
Well, I am with you, but to go back to the mental side of things real fast, I think it's huge tonight because I don't see Hart and Anderson having the type of games that they had in game 1. I see them being a lot more comfortable in net, being a lot more comfortable with what the other team's going to throw at them. I don't think we're going to get another 9-goal affair tonight. This one feels like a lower scoring game. And how can Carolina mentally stay in it if it's one of those games where it's the third period, you find yourself down 1-0, you've had some good chances, can't get to score. Like, you've already lost the mental battle in game 1. You got to respond tonight. How does it go if you can't score on Hart? You find yourself down by a goal in the third period, 10 minutes left, and it feels like everything's coming crashing down around you because you're just playing against a goalie who is standing on his head and making all the saves. That is, hey, maybe we get another high-scoring game. I don't think so. I think this is a game whenever the pressure ratchets up on Carolina. In Vegas, you know how they're going to be physical, grinding. They're going to make it tough on you for everything. I see a lower scoring game tonight. And how can Carolina weather that storm mentally, knowing you already blew game one? Now you find yourself in a low scoring affair where one mistake can completely change the complexion of the series.
And Carolina's a live by the sword, die by the sword team. They want to play an open game. Yep. They want to be free skating, free running. They want to ping the puck around. That is what they want to do. The interesting part of this, fellas, they lost the game, but they won more faceoffs. So it's not like you can immediately point to the circles and go, hey, they're getting beat off the jump here. No, Carolina was retaining possession. They were in the offensive zone. They were pinging the puck around. It's just Vegas is a very opportunistic team. And if you give savvy vets enough opportunities, they're going to ring the bell more than once. And that's just the way it goes. And listen, you got to be defensively solid, especially against a team like Vegas that you know at points can go on spurts and really fill it up. You got to be defensively solid. And then Carolina was the most defensively solid for the level of talent on that roster. I think Elijah could back me up on that. But for the level of talent on that roster that Carolina's got, I didn't think they were particularly defensively solid in their shape in game one. And I think that needs to get back to that identity. I think it starts from the back line to the front line for Carolina. Really, really hunker things down, get everything rock solid at the back, and then play fast, free, and open. But if you're going to play an open style of hockey, listen, sometimes just going to bite it. And in game one, Carolina found out that they had to bite it a little bit.
And I don't think playing a super solid defensive game plan is how Carolina's constructed. They're constructed to go beat you 5-2. Mm-hmm. Are they constructed to go win a game 1 or 2-0 whenever the pressure ratchets up? And I mean, Vegas, they are what they are. Are they going to go physically straight line speed, go match Carolina? No. Are they going to be able to go exert their will physically, get on the forecheck, keep it down in the offensive zone and put pressure on a team? Because, hey, we've been down in our own defensive zone here for the last minute and 15 seconds, and we just can't clear the puck. That's whenever the pressure starts ratcheting up, and I wonder, like that's where Vegas has their advantage. If this is an end-to-end type game, Carolina will win.
Yeah, agree.
But that's not how Vegas plays, and they're veteran enough that they know how to get on the forecheck, to occasionally do the dump and chase, to make it tough for you to enter the offensive zone. They don't give away the puck in silly ways much whenever they do have the puck in the offensive zone. They tend to generate good chances. Like, it's the veteran-laden nature of that team that brings that out.
That's what I was going to say. What Vegas proved, and they proved to Carolina in game one, is we're never going away. We're the most technically sound team. I mentioned after game one, the passing of Vegas, crisp. Puck was always on the stick, never like floating around. Vegas is like the college basketball team that dictates the pace. Mm-hmm. They take it to you, and they make you slow down.
It's so Iowa coded.
I just was going to say that. I didn't want to say that. I just, it was just like, ugh. Mm-hmm. It's that team that, like, you're playing a Carolina team that can score 4 to 9 goals in a game, that they'll slow you down to score 1 or 2, and then they're going to pop you and beat you late type team. But in Carolina's mindset, that mental mindset, now they know Vegas isn't going away. Mm-hmm. Vegas will technically beat you down and make you turn it over. Like Vegas will get to the costly turnover or dupe you into a penalty somehow.
We're trying to punt for a touchdown whenever they're down by 3.
Yes.
Yeah. But the way that I look at it, though, is Carolina did drop game 1 of the ECF, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. If you go back to that game, they got boat raced by the Canadiens. And the Canadiens look like the faster, more physical team. And what did Carolina do? They made adjustments because they have a great coaching staff over there. Mm-hmm. They're going to make adjustments. I wouldn't be surprised if at game 2 we see a little bit lower scoring affair. Like, I think we could get a 3-2 type hockey game. But I think Carolina will make adjustments. And I wouldn't be surprised if they win this one and even end up going to Vegas, and then the real game starts. But if they get down 2-0 and Vegas gets a little front runner in them and they get a little, they get their mojo going, this one could be over quick because of how Vegas rolls, man. And those guys are vetty, they're savvy, but they also they know when they're on a winning roll, they don't mess with a hot hand. And they're really savvy about that.
It'll be epic. Chess match continues tonight. It'll be 7:00 puck drop ABC coming up as the Hurricanes look to get even in that one. So let's take another break. It's going well. Let's take another break. Come back with This Day in Sports. Yeah.
A lot of chopping and changing. We're okay.
Yeah. Let's go to here.
This day in Yankees hate.
Oh, I know. I know that's what you're just gonna log in and look for that. Got this site I want.
Somebody needs to make that a this day in Yankees hate.
We can make a segment.
YZ needs to get in on this. That's who really needs to get in on this.
Sometimes it's hard to do that when your team sucks.
My team's like doing all right.
Your team's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little smack. We're ahead of schedule right now.
I'm just thinking the YZ camp when you're looking down and like you're looking way up and with no hope.
Did you know that JJ Weatherholt's on pace for 7 WAR season as a rookie? That's absurd.
That's dumb.
That's absurd. My second baseman. Mm-hmm.
But didn't you like to guess the Colorado Rockies leader in WAR and what the WAR is?
I'm gonna say boy. Mickey Moniak. I'm gonna go 1.8.
1.4, but it is Mickey Moniak.
Wow, well done.
Thought he'd have a little bit higher. It's okay.
Well, the Rockies don't have that many wins. So.
Overestimate the field and run value.
What's impressive is the Rockies only have 4 players with a negative WAR. No, that's not true. I need to go to page 2.
Wow, there's a lot of really good stuff in history today.
No, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 Rockies players with a negative WAR. Excuse me. It's page 2 that always gets you. Why don't they put all the results on one page, huh?
There's some good ones there. What is going on in my world? Oh, yes, that person on your page. Oh.
Oh, this is great. This is great news for me. We got him. We got one.
Anticipation is building.
Good. I like anticipation to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Elijah, I got 2 of your 4 graphics done last night.
2 of the 4?
I got 2 of the 4.
Bangarang.
I'm gonna knock out the other 2 at my lunch. All it is, I just got to move logos in now. I set the template. I just got to chop and change logos now.
This guy's a warrior. It's incredible.
We will have them by this afternoon, which is, I think, a pretty good turnaround from a showtime yesterday.
Oh, incredible. We'll get those up this afternoon.
Exactly. We'll be good. I'll knock down by my lunch break. Shouldn't take me more than an hour, but I can clock in and get more hours because that's what I did last night. I was just on FaceTime with my girlfriend, and I was like, "Hi, honey," and just chopping and changing, talking to her, and doing the graphics.
So you weren't paying that much attention to her?
I mean, I was, but she was also working on stuff. So
did you answer questions?
Yes, I did answer questions. I answered questions and started conversation.
Oh, look at this.
We set up.
Are you going to be a part of the
with a 48-team college football super conference? We set up our preferred divisions,
Oh.
or I set up my preferred divisions. And we and Justice now turned those into a graphic so I can go get crucified on social media.
Hashtag engagement.
Here we go.
It's all about getting the numbers up. It's okay if Elijah takes a little heat if it means we get better numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if they hate him.
Won't be my first time getting some hate on social media.
It's okay if they hate him.
The runner in the baseline.
Just a recent example.
Why do you hate Nebraska?
Is Elisha even a Nebraska fan? It's so good.
Sounds like your shtick of knowing the rules is getting old.
I told
him.
I told him.
We're coming back.
Yeah. Welcome back in the morning, Hookup. A few moments left. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Thursday. Are you rocking a playlist when you go down this or go up this weekend for the party?
There's one.
You got one locked in.
There is a shared playlist that has been shared with us to put songs on.
Why have we not tested it out?
I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy.
I can check.
I mean, why have we not? That should have been like one of the 6 bullet points of the show. Validated and verifying the playlist for the weekend. Okay, we got some bangers.
This playlist is better than I thought it would be. And that's no offense to the people
hour
that are coming on this trip.
Next hour, we're going to play a few of these.
There's only 28 songs in there, though. So we're going to... Oh, someone got Creed on there. Yes. Got Nickelback.
When dreaming.
We got everything. We got some Matchbox 20. 3 Doors Down.
This is a different playlist. And
plenty of Jimmy Buffett.
You feel like this is a playlist that you and I weren't imagining?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought we were going to get a lot more modern in terms of our music choice.
Yeah.
A lot of like late 2000s white girl music
on there.
It's kind of what I thought we were going to get.
We're going to play some of those in the next hour. See if we improve.
Oh, don't worry. Lady Gaga's warming up in the wings.
Yeah, let's go. Boy, on this day I'm going to go a little more current because I think it's a topic that we could talk about later on. But on this day in 2009, Randy Johnson became the 24th and most recent pitcher to win 300 games.
Shout out.
Back to 2009. Right now, the closest active player, 43-year-old Justin Verlander, 266. Will we see another 300-game winner is the question. But Randy Johnson did it in 2009, the most recent, and 24th of all time.
If you guys had to circle someone to be a 300-game winner, who would you circle?
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know. Like, I mean, it's easy to say, like, here's the problem. Like, you can't go to schemes. He plays for a crap team. How long will it take him to get to 300? Didn't Chris Sale somebody DeGrom on me being hurt? He just got to 100. He's never making it.
No, but he'll get to 120.
Yeah,
I'll give him 120. Then you get to have really fun Hall of Fame.
Do you have a list of actives?
Well, I'm just going through my list here.
Because I don't think Verlander has 34 more wins than
old.
No.
He'd have to pitch for a while, and he's the age profile right.
43 years old. What's he got to get to? What's he averaging, like 6 a year?
At age 41, Scherzer's at 222.
Nope.
I don't think he's making
Nope. You're gonna have to be like, this is
Garrett Cole's only at 152. I think he'd be higher.
This would
154. Excuse me.
This would be us looking into the future, way into the future, to figure this one out. Which unfortunately, it's gonna change the Hall of Fame.
I don't think
for pitchers.
I don't think Mizorowski will make it. I think his arm will give before.
This is gonna.
It's shocking to me. Garrett Cole's 35. He's only at 154.
Yep. But it's gonna change the landscape of pitchers getting in the Hall of Fame, right? That number changes.
Max Fried,
what's he at?
He's at 96, 32 years old.
If he stays with the Yankees for a long time, there's possibility.
And if he pitches for another 10 years,
yep, that's possible.
An outsider, because I think he might be able to pitch into like his 40s. Logan Gilbert's at 51. Now he's 29.
Because I think you're going to see, like, to that point, I think you're going to see pitchers pitch later into their years based on the limited number of innings they pitch these days.
Would you guys like to guess which player leads the list of current players in their 20s?
Oh, boy.
Current players in their 20s. Who leads the list for wins? It's not a name that I was expecting.
Christopher Sanchez?
It's not. This individual is 29 years old, is in his 8th MLB season.
Oh, boy. I'm drawing a blank.
Logan Webb?
It is Logan Webb.
Wow. That's a poll.
There. He's at 73 career wins.
I wasn't there.
And he's got the pitching style to make it long.
I wasn't there. It's just an interesting topic because I saw that with Randy Johnson. So it's interesting as you start looking ahead for stats and the level of Hall of Fame and how it's going to change. Maybe now the number is 200, 250 to get in the Hall of Fame. You've reset the market because you might not see one.
For what it's worth, the next closest guy in his 20s is Skubal. 57 wins at age 29.
Pretty good, man.
Pretty good. What else you guys
Oh, I'm sure Elijah's got that. I got something, but I want Elijah to have the opportunity.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking up pitching career wins leaders.
It's okay. It's okay. That's the way I guess.
Just take the first one you see on the chart because that's feel like that'd be you.
That's I've been watching Ken Burns baseball, and I'm not sure if I agree that that's true or not. So saying that the first baseball type game is played in Canada, no chance.
It sounds like something Hulk Hogan would say.
Yeah,
he was a part of it.
I disagree. That just can't be true.
Nope, it will never be. Yep.
First, the Ryder Cup happened in golf in 1927.
Woo!
Began this day in sports history. Walter Hagen, the first American captain. United States beats Great Britain 9.5 to 2.5.
Take that.
Shout out the Habs. All right, on this day in Yankee sports history, 1988, the New York Yankees outfielder Ricky Henderson steals 2 bases for a team record 249. Now, you might be asking, Justice, didn't the Yankees make the playoffs in 1988? And you would be sadly mistaken. They went 85 and 78 and missed the playoffs as part of a 12-year drought where they missed the playoffs from 1982 to 1994. Way to go, Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You did great.
In 1964, Sandy Koufax tossed his third career no-hitter, beat the Phillies 3-0.
Woo! I think he's got the fewest amount of wins for a Hall of Famer, if I'm right. And it's like 150.
Didn't he retire young?
He did retire young.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was voluntary, too. It wasn't like an injury thing. He just retired young.
When Barry Sanders.
Hey, shout out Barry Sanders. He could still walk, function, and sell an automobile. So
I'm gonna say birthdays,
good for him.
But there's no real cool birthdays. Coming up, we're gonna circle the diamond, Major League Baseball, when we come back. Also, big one with Brian Munson with HustlerOnline.com. Big weekend. Trey Taylor needs to just chill out. That and a whole lot more. Sit back, relax. We'll be right back.
Needs more support than you can give at home, it can be hard to know where to turn. At Bailey Point Assisted Living at Van Dorn, we're here to help your family find peace of mind. Our compassionate caregivers provide personalized assistance, meaningful engagement, and a safe, comforting community your loved one can truly call home. Let us walk this journey with you. Visit BaileyPointVanDorn.com to learn more.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. But every driver seeks the pinnacle of their achievements. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump's former National Security Advisor John Bolton is expected to plead guilty to retaining and transmitting classified documents. Bolton was indicted by a grand jury on 8 counts last October. Sources tell ABC News he is also expected to pay a fine of more than $2 million. The Senate beginning a full day of voting, starting with what's the first of expected to be many amendments to the Republican $70 billion immigration enforcement bill. This amendment, if approved, would effectively kill the so-called anti-weapons weaponization fund touted by acting Attorney General Todd Blanche just last week.
Blanche has become the face of this fund on Capitol Hill, including in a tense meeting last month when even staunch allies of the president warned Blanche that this fund was a political mistake in their view. And there are also concerns among some Republican senators that Trump, who has openly said, including this week, that he still wants to pay January 6 defendants, and Blanche could use the Department of Justice still to do just that. I asked one Republican senator just yesterday if he was concerned about that. He said, quote, who wouldn't be?
ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. The new world of screw worm found in a calf in South Texas. It's now the ranch that's been quarantined. That parasite devastated cattle herds back in the 70s and had been eradicated. However, says Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins,
this pest does not cause any sort of a food safety issue. It is not a disease, but simply an insect that feeds on living tissues.
There was an unexpected surge in people filing for unemployment benefits last week.
Economists expected initial jobless filings to remain steady at around 215,000 in the week ending May 30th. Instead, the figure surged to 225,000 applications. The 4-week moving average is less prone to wild fluctuations, but even it rose last week by 6,500 from the week before.
ABC's Jim Ryan. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Estella.
Finalized numbers for Give to Lincoln Day. Good morning, I'm Jeff Moats. Cloudy and 73 degrees at KFOR. More than $86 million has been raised in the past 14 years of Give to Lincoln Day, which helps raise money each year for nonprofits and charities in Lincoln. This year's Give to Lincoln Day, May 28th, saw over $11 million raised for about 28,000 donations for nearly 500 participating Lincoln area nonprofits and charities. It's a new record for a single year by $1.5 million. That's come a long way from the initial $1.5 million raised total in the first year in 2012, according to Jenny Chapin, who is the Lincoln Community Foundation's Vice President for Marketing and Communication.
It really speaks to how generous Lincoln is and the fact that our community has embraced this Giving Day when other communities maybe plateau or step away from their Giving Day. You know, Lincoln has just really grown Give to Lincoln Day in a way no one could have imagined.
Chapin tells KFOR News all participating nonprofits also received a proportional share of a $650,000 match fund based on the percentage of money raised provided by LCF and presenting sponsor Westgate Bank and other sponsors. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office has provided an update regarding that fatal crash Memorial Day at Northwest 84th and West O Street in Emerald. An additional passenger involved in the crash has now died as a result of injuries suffered in the crash. That passenger has now been identified as 62-year-old Gay Wah of Lincoln. Wah was a passenger in the eastbound vehicle that was hit by a southbound car. Family members have been notified the crash is still under investigation. Nonstop air service with American Airlines from the Lincoln Airport to Dallas, Fort Worth, and O'Hare Airport in Chicago will begin today. A special ribbon cutting on the service will be held at LNK. Aside from the twice daily service from Lincoln to DFW, daily service from American will be offered to Chicago's O'Hare. One watch, 1 this afternoon until 4 tomorrow morning. Cloudy and 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms today, and a high of 81. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it
Whether you're installing a patio or a new retaining wall, Menards has the blocks you need to get the job done right. We carry the largest in-stock selection, ready to take home today. Stop in and get our 12-inch smooth patio block on sale now. Save big on concrete landscape blocks at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back in the morning. Into the morning hookup, hour number 2. Is this on the list?
Not it.
Should be.
Should be.
Should be.
What's your favorite song on that list?
Let's see here.
Your thumbs. You go as fast as when I watch my daughter type.
Yeah, we got
Bing,
some,
bing, 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 bing.
we got some scheduling things on.
Those-
Oh, we got schedule updates.
No, schedule updates for around here with.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought the girls were adding another item to the
Yeah.
itinerary. We're just dragging them through the mud.
yeah.
I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Solid. It's on
Good.
there.
This is shaping up to be Divorced Dad Rock.
I mean, seriously.
With
it's
Arms
just-
Wide Open, Creed.
Yeah, this is really shaping up that way.
It's not off to a good start.
A Pirate Looks at 40, Jimmy Buffett.
Wow.
If you guys are unfamiliar,
Good pull.
banger.
Wow. Good pull.
I'm just trying to set the. It's like, what's the vibe, right? This is telling us a lot.
How You Remind Me, Nickelback. That one.
Wow.
Unwritten, Natasha Bedingfield.
There we go.
We're getting there now.
I love Poker Face.
They're gonna go. Which one of these songs is not like the other ones?
One of these songs is not like the other. One of these songs is late 2000s white girl rock.
Yeah. Did it show who adds and deletes songs?
It does not.
Good. Nobody will know.
I can't wait.
It will show me as a contributor, though.
It will show. I can't wait till it gets to the point where it's like that comes on. And like, whoa!
Everybody's like, Elijah must have contributed to the tree, and Elijah's like, yeah, I did Lady Gaga.
You should also add some like random, just banger right in the middle of it.
Oh, do like the Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
You did the Tokyo Drift theme song by the Teriyaki
Makes
Boys.
people get off their feet. Song.
Can you imagine just like drifting around Lake Okoboji?
He is. He has been for a few weeks. Thinking about that.
We're not taking my truck. I don't think my truck's a big drifter, but we're not taking that, so we'll see.
Are you gonna get a chance to get on a boat?
Yes.
Woo! That's the song you need. I'm on a boat. That's the song that gets added.
Hey, speaking of on a boat, the Royals are out to sea.
They've been there.
That's a smooth transition.
We'll go through and look. We'll go circle the diamond real quick. Look at some standing stats stories of Major League Baseball right now. I saw the other day. I didn't get a chance to get this one, but like stats. Did you see? We mentioned Mizorowski earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see like the definition of a pitcher shoving it? It showed the stat the other day. His last start, his first 20 pitches were over 100.
They're so annoying.
I'm coming at you with fastballs, and you can't hit me. That's shoving it.
They're so annoying.
Is that a like a disrespectful FU type thing, or is that a guy who is going through his bullpen that was like, my breaking ball's not looking great today?
I got to work this out.
Let's see if you can touch 102.
or your bullpen pitching coach like, hey, we ain't calling that today. But he just shoved it. It was crazy. Boy, the East right now is still like a little maintained right now. Nobody wants to win in that division right now because the top four teams have all lost once or up to 4 times over their last 4. But Tampa Bay holds a slight lead of 1 game, and then it's everybody else. 8.5. The Red Sox are who they are at that point. Sorry,
they're
YZ,
also out
they
to
stink.
sea.
Sorry, YZ, they stink.
They might be worse than the Royals.
They are slightly
record-wise. Maybe
they have
not.
a 2-game edge on the Royals right now.
Record-wise, maybe not. But eye test, the Royals are slightly better than they were for the first 20 games of the year, first 25 games.
That's saying a lot too. Right
the
now.
Red Sox are still the Red Sox.
That's saying a lot.
That's like trading out 3-day-old underwear for something you wore yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you believe the Red Sox are 26-34 and they're above 500 in their road games?
Probably because they're 10-20 at home.
They hate their home fans.
How does that happen?
I don't even know how any of that happens.
How are you bad at Fenway Park? The field in left field's like 100 feet from home plate. You swing a bat and it's there.
Looking at the Central Cup, I mean, the surprise stories. We'll talk about those as we go through divisions, and maybe you look no further than what's going on in the Central currently. And again, we're early still in the baseball. Cleveland 2.5 up on the White Sox. One of only 2 teams in the division have a winning record.
And the White Sox are currently 5th in the wild card. They are the 2nd wild card.
Yes.
Isn't that incredible? Shout out the South Side. South Side stand up because those White Sox fans have suffered through a lot, mostly self-inflicted, but they have suffered through a lot.
Asking for a friend, how did they turn it around so quick? How did they figure out how to go from the basement of the league to a potential playoff team this year? And that's a way too early thing to say, but this White Sox team is very fun.
They are fun.
They're fun to watch. They're gritty.
They have a lot of young guys who don't really know any better. They got some talent on that roster. I think Colson Montgomery's really good. Miguel Vargas is a really nice player for them. Edgar Caro's kind of started to come around a little bit, and then signing Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah, Murakami.
Listen, they signed a guy on a 2-year contract, and they said, we don't care about strikeout weight. We need a guy who can put the ball out of the yard. And they went and got one of the best guys in the league right now who's putting the ball out of the yard.
Definitely one of the nicer stories in baseball so far through the first third or fourth, whatever. And they're West Seattle 2 games up on the Athletics. Seattle, the only team in that division over 500, and nobody in that division wants to win either. 1, 2, 1. I mean, it's that's ugly.
The A's are young, so I'll give them a pass. Like, I think the A's have some talent. They're just not a complete roster because their owner's a cheapskate and doesn't want to spend any money. The Rangers probably should be better. And they've got
they're underachieving right now. It still gives them right now a 59% chance to make the playoffs. The Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask? I'm sure there was a reason for this, but I can no longer remember. What was the reason for the A's moving out of Oakland if their stadium was not ready in Vegas?
It
was due up, right? Was it due up?
It was due up, and Fisher overplayed his hand.
Yes.
He thought he had a lot more leverage, and everybody's like, "Yeah, we want you to keep you around, but we are not going to spend $1 billion to renovate a whole waterfront."
You were going to play where you were going to play.
That and he didn't. I don't think he personally wanted to be in Oakland. Like that was no offense, but I like Coliseum. It's a very historic park. But they felt like it was time to move to Vegas, and he wanted to make money. And it's really ironic that a guy wants to make money when he's one of the cheapest owners in the league.
Is Sacramento really that much different than Oakland?
It totally screams the movie Major League, doesn't it?
So does. But
these guys are being pampered.
Yeah, but they're pretty they're competitive, and they're young and they're feisty, and they got some really nice pieces, and they've managed to get it together. Nick Kurtz is really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. Jacob Wilson can really hit, and he's a guy who can really pick it short. So they've got some nice talent. Brett Rooker's still there, and everybody wonders when Brett Rooker's get traded, and he might just never get traded. That's the way it goes. But they got some nice pieces, and nobody wants to win that division, and the Mariners have the best pitching staff, so they're the most likely candidate. But I mean, it's still there's still a lot going on in the AL. Like you could talk about the Tigers sucking. That's storyline. Scooble goes down, and they lose. They lose the.
If I'm Scooble, I'm chilling out.
Yeah, I'm telling them.
I'm good.
Yeah. I'm telling them.
Still a little stiffness.
My doctor says I need at least 6 more months of rehab.
Yes, it's not going well.
Hey, you guys,
setback.
You guys can move me off. It's okay. You can trade me. Low risk.
I am feeling tightness in my elbow. I'm sorry.
Well, he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why we're saying
go to another team.
Looking at the National League, we'll flip the page here. A lot of, if you look at these races, again, like we said, early on in baseball, still a lot of games left, but these races seem to be widening a little bit.
The NL East is close to.
Yep. The East, you got a 9.
Barring a catastrophic collapse,
which could happen.
I would be ready to put the Braves at minus 700 to win that division.
Yeah.
They're just so much better.
42-20 right now. When you look at the Braves, 9.5 up on Philly.
And
it's been weeks since anybody's gotten within 8.
It's not just the gap. It's how much worse everyone else in that division looks than the Braves. The eye test will tell you something. None of those, all those other teams look all right to bad.
Yep.
Whereas the Braves do look really, really good.
The Phillies have been solid since Don Mattingly came in.
Yes,
I'll give them that.
Solid.
They've been solid. I'm not going to say they're world beaters.
They have not been to form of what we've expected from the Phillies in recent time. Sanchez, I think his scoreless inning streak just
got snapped, yeah. But a great round of applause last night.
Oh,
Did you guys see that moment last night in Philly?
Amazing.
Where he gives it up and he gets a long applause because the umpire pro move sets everything up for the next day. Oh wait, I forgot to clean off that plate.
Yeah, wait.
Let me go clean off that plate. Still let the fans clap a bit more. But that was a great ovation that he got last night. But incredible 50 something scoreless innings.
Plus.
Ridiculous.
Scoreless is incredible.
I mean, he's so good. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. And you look at the rest of that East, the Nationals are still a young team, kind of trying to rebuild. The Marlins are a young team. They're starting to figure it out. They're still trying to rebuild. And then you have the New York Metropolitans at the bottom, which just flat out stink with a $373 million payroll. And frankly, the joke of baseball. They are the butt of the joke of baseball.
It's continuing.
And it's funny. New York. It's really funny.
The Central. Another surprising story as you look in baseball is the Cardinals. Milwaukee at the top. They have 5.5 game lead up. That division is interesting because everybody in that division is now over 500, and they have been. All the way down to Cincinnati and last place at 7 games back. More surprising, the Cubs reeling a little bit, 32 and 36.5 back. St. Louis and Pittsburgh both 5.5 back, but I think the Cardinals are the surprise of that division.
Yeah, and I mean, they just lost a series to the Rangers, and that was a tough series. You faced DeGrom, and that was never going to go well, especially with a young team. It was never going to go well. I don't like the Brewers at all. Nope. They're really good, and I hate that they get all their evaluations right, and it really annoys me, but they're really good at the evaluation thing. Pittsburgh's fun, man. Pittsburgh's 7-3 in their last 10. The Cubs are 3-7. Cards are 4-6. So that's your teams that are trending slightly down in the Central, but Pirates are fun, man. They got a good pitching staff. They got nice arms. They got the bats are starting to show up a little bit. Connor Griffin's been awesome since he, flipped the calendar and turned 20. And then the Reds. I don't think the Reds start was ever going to be sustainable because you have Ellie De La Cruz. No. You need a second option, and right now it's been J.J. Baudet. It really feels like Sal Stewart needs to get back to that rookie of the year type pace he was on, or otherwise their offense can't function because the rest of that lineup, the other 7 guys are just kind of not noteworthy. And then Chicago's really had a problem with keeping the ball in the yard.
Yes.
They've had a problem keeping the ball in the yard. They give up a lot. When they lose games, they give up a lot of go.
When they lose them, they lose them.
They lose them. And it's not particularly pretty. And they went on that. Hooksy, am I right in saying, was it like an 11-game losing streak they were on at some point?
Well, at one point, they were leading the division by, 2 or 3 games, and then they went on that skid.
Mm-hmm. They went on.
It was not a pretty skid.
And they lost in extras last night to the A's when Nick Kurtz hit that one-run single.
3 straight now for them as well.
And so on the bump tonight, you'll have a chance to show to Imanaga, but he's had a really hard time keeping the ball in the yard. Like his numbers are way down from the past couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cubs can get this thing going because they obviously have a ton of talent on that roster. But you lost the series to the Cardinals, and that's in Cubby land. That's never going to fly losing a series to the Cardinals. And then you go and you're reeling a little bit, and that's part of an 11 game. It was part of an 11-game skid. Then you win a game, then you go on that and get a series loss to the Cardinals. It really feels like this early portion of the year has not been the Cubs' strong suit, but the nice part about this is Chicago is a team that is willing to go spend money, right? And they are willing to go make a big acquisition at the trade deadline to boost their talent capital. I think we could see a similar situation here, Hooksy, where the Cubs are right in and around that mix. Maybe they get on a hot streak late, and then they go add a bat.
No doubt.
They go add an arm. And they're going to get Justin Steele back at some point, you would think. So when they get him back, maybe that's a big bolster to the rotation. They are a team that is willing to be aggressive in the market. I don't know that the Brewers and Cardinals are willing to say the same thing, mostly because that's not the Brewers model. That's not the way they do things. They like the find value and develop model. The Cardinals are young. I don't think Chaim Bloom has already said he's not willing to abandon the long-term outlook of this team for short-term gratification, and I think that's a really good approach. You just ride this year out. If they're young and they're fun, they make a wild card. Awesome. If they end up faltering late, that's okay too because you still have your capital. This is really setting up. If Chicago can just stay at, stay even, above 500, tread water in that division, don't get more than 10 games back, they could really make a run at this thing late because they're more willing to invest in capital, more willing to be aggressive and spend right away, which has kind of been the model now that Jed York's been in charge.
I think it's awesome. It's interesting times as we're only 60-plus games in, but to see the Cardinals and the Pirates both sitting in wild card positions right now, been a while since we've seen some of that. The West is what the West is. You got the Dodgers setting the tone out there, winners of 8 of their last 10. They're 7 up on the Padres, who have played pretty good baseball back and forth. They've lost 4 straight, though, in that one as we keep monitoring these trends that are happening in baseball. You start looking around some of the guys setting the tones. Kyle Schwarber, 23 bombs He's 2 ahead of the pace of anybody in baseball right now. Alvarez at 21. A couple of Yankees on that list. I know you hate to hear that, but Judge and Ben Rice both have hit 17 bombs.
Ben Rice has been awesome for them this year.
Been really good for them. You mentioned Nick Kurtz, his on base percentage. He leads the league in it at .440.
He's so good.
Yes, he is really good.
So good. For that big of a hitter, too. Like, to have that kind of discipline, be able to get on base with that big of a frame when your strike zone's expanded.
Huge.
His bat covers a lot of space. Covers a lot of space, a lot of ground, and he can spray it to all fields, man. It's not like he's a dead red goal hitter. He is a guy who can put it, he'll go middle oppo, he'll work oppo, he'll work pull side. He can hit you right up, back up the middle. As complete of a hitter as I've seen. And to be honest, out of college, I wasn't like crazy high on him. I thought he had a lot more swing and miss. But, man, he's really cleaned up the swing and miss, and that bat looks incredible right now. And it's buoying an A's team that's making a push.
I think what's incredible also before we switch the page is I called this a couple weeks ago the year of the pitcher. I think hitters are just doing just fine. But you see averages down just a little bit in Major League Baseball. But this is the year of pitching, I believe, when you look at some of the guys. Sanchez, by the way, after last night, 1.46 ERA. You've got 3 guys in the league right now. Under 2 or right at 2. You've got Sanchez 1.46, Mizorowski 1.65, Cam Schlitter 1.89, Chris Sale sitting there at 2.01, and then Chase Burns in Cincinnati 2.05.
Chase Burns has been really good.
Been really good. Mizorowski, by the way, him and Sanchez, 108 strikeouts, 103 strikeouts.
And he's emerged as the betting favorite to win the NL Cy Young, and I agree with that. When you go a month of scoreless baseball and you are absolutely shoving the pill, you deserve to be the NL Cy Young. Right behind him is Mizorowski. And, it's Mizorowski, it's Skeens, and you got Ohtani's in around there. Chris Sale should be getting more love for the year that he's having. At age 37 to be doing what he's doing is outrageous. And then Chase Burns is right in and around there, man. I mean, he's been really, really good for the Cincinnati Reds, and that's a guy who came in with a 2-pitch mix, was a fastball slider guy, and he's managed to figure it out, man. He's been really good for a Reds team that has kind of had to tread water at points this year, but he's really figured it out. I think he's worked on some pitches, and he's really steadied that pitching staff with the absence of Hunter Green for the whole year. Major stuff for Chase Burns, and just good for a guy like him who was a number 2 overall pick just a couple years back to get some production early. And that rookie class, Hooksy, that rookie class that's coming in, that 24 draft class, I know you got Caglione, but Chase Burns has been really good, and Nicholas Kurtz has come in swinging the stick. J.J. Weatherholt's been awesome. Cags is already up in the big leagues, and he's contributing to the Royals. That rookie staff has a chance to be something special
as you look into the future, boy. But a lot of going on in baseball, and, boy, it's awesome. So, but you know what else is awesome? We're going to take a break. We're going to go to the football field.
We got to talk to our guy.
We got to talk to our guy. We missed him. I have to apologize to him because we did try to call him on a Tuesday, and he was on the airplane. But we'll do that when we come back. Brian Munson, HusklerOnline.com.
Yeah, that Cy Young race is going to be ridiculous in the NL.
It's incredible. I mean, like I said, it's the year of the pitcher.
It's so, and I think it's also been accelerated because we talk about youth baseball culture in America a lot. I think youth baseball, with the way that it is nowadays, with how much kids go travel and how much kids see a baseball, especially from the hitter perspective, kids are seeing so much baseball at such a young age. Like there's a specialization aspect to it, but I think it's really helped advance and accelerate the learning process and learning curve for some of these younger major league guys.
Absolutely. There's definitely more exposure with the way the tournaments are out there, the number of tournaments, where they're at, showcases.
By the time you're a sophomore in high school, you've seen 95.
No doubt.
It's not like,
most likely you've seen it 90 to 95.
And I'll add to this. How many big leaguers, even compared to 10 years ago, do you see making their way through that? Oh, they were a 3-sport athlete in high school, which I think there is positives to playing multiple sports, but you don't see many big leaguers. Well, they played football and basketball back in high school too. Nope. And you don't
might do it for a year and be like, all right.
With great football players and basketball players, you still see guys that play multiple sports, but baseball,
not a lot.
Not a lot.
Just because of the year-round nature of it now. The year-round. I mean, I can tell you from the experience of if we allowed it, it would go all year long, but we don't allow it. Whether it be not games, but there's shows.
Because the goal for 99.9% of youth baseball players should not be making it to the MLB. Fair?
Fair. Oh, absolutely.
Fair, yeah. It should be being a kid and enjoying what extracurriculars such as baseball bring you later in life.
I say that all the time.
Being in a team environment, showing competitiveness.
The other thing about that is like, yeah, you can play all year long, but like you and I talked about this a little bit was if you really want to develop your well-rounded athlete, again, as a young one, play different sports, be a kid, but go get the strength training, the agility training, go do those soft skills that we don't do enough of. Heck, learn that. I mean, stretch, right? Learn that. Like,
they don't tell you this, but one of the reasons why coaches like multi-sport athletes in different sports is because it means that as opposed to being good at football because you get to focus on it year round, you're good at football while also doing other things.
Yes.
Which means you're a really good special athlete that can be multiple, excuse me. If you're great at football and you're not in the weight room 12 months a year.
Yeah.
Come back here, fellas.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. Setting you up for your weekend. Add that banger.
Wait, we're getting to the draft. Hang on.
You ready?
Baby, I'm not like the rest.
I assume Brian cannot hear this song. He can just hear us singing along.
Song, but I can hear the wonderful singing.
Whoa! Put him on there. It's our guy from HustlerLine.com.
Sorry, Brian.
Brian Mutton.
No, you're good.
I'm supposed to say sorry first for calling him on an airplane.
You know, the funny part about that was literally you guys called and the plane was just like literally like we had been sitting on the tarmac for about 2 minutes. And I was like, please don't tell me we're going to sit out here and fry and cook right now because Dallas had gotten pretty warm. It was 100 degrees on Saturday, or really close to 100 degrees on Saturday. We're leaving Sunday morning to go to Winston-Salem for football camp. And I was like, oh, the temperatures are going to be like 70, 80 degrees in North Carolina. I was like, cannot wait. And then we got stuck, and then the phone started ringing, and I looked down, and I go, uh-oh. I go, I think we got our paths crossed here a little bit, you know. And nope. So I had enough time to text, and then pretty soon it was like, okay, you don't have a signal anymore because it was just literally the last thing I did before I lost signal.
Nope, that was just on me. That was it. That was just me having a lapse. And Elijah and I looked at each other and go, "Yeah, we talked about this. He's coming on Thursday."
Some people do dream of being on vacation and getting a call from the Morning Hookup, though. Yeah, that is some people's dream.
Hey, that was it was a good feeling knowing that I was like, you know, headed someplace else and wanted to talk to you guys. You know, I always want to talk to you guys. So
the people
you guys
needed
can call me anytime you want.
The people needed it. They needed Brian Munson. But guess what? You're going to get him right now. Big weekend coming up. But let's dig into. Boy, give us wait a minute. I got the hand.
Don't we have to talk a little bit about the AFC East before we get
into wow, weekend? You're gonna go there.
Don't we have
you know what?
Don't we have to get his thoughts on a prime time prima donna moving into his division and Mr. AJ Brown? Is that Brian? I wanted to ask you: Is this the Philadelphia Eagles betting against AJ Brown? I know the Patriots wanted a weapon, but does this signify to you that I don't know? Maybe the AFC East just got a little more toxic.
I think it is a little bit. I mean, here's the deal though. I was upset that it didn't include, Brandon Beane saying that the Bills had traded for him. I mean, I think AJ is a great talent. I think he has to get into the right environment. Kind of like Pickens, coming to Dallas, a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like I think that was needed. Which I don't think you can say very often about like guys coming to Dallas and all of a sudden like their behavior just like cleans up and they're a little bit more on board. But I think AJ is a very talented guy. I think DK Metcalf was kind of a similar, kind of place with him in Seattle. And I think you just got to kind of find the right spot for him and let him kind of go out there and build that discipline and get into a better environment and get in tune with the head coach. So I think he's in a good spot. It's a little nerve wracking, and I wished it was for Buffalo. I know they're still talking about Stephon Diggs, and that's why my voice is so hard, so harsh this morning. I've been screaming no, do not bring Stephon Diggs back to Buffalo. That cannot happen and be better this fall.
Boy, there you go. The AFC is going to be electric. We got Brian Munson, HuskerLine.com. Brian, well, let's talk Trey Taylor. Holy MVP, yeah. Elite 11. I told this story because you almost sit back and go, man, Nebraska got in on this guy. They knew what he's going to be like. This kid is dynamic. But I was back in my day, my all-star baseball days, nobody knew who I was because I came into this new organization. They're like, hey, just chill. Don't perform too well. We don't need to know who you are because I'm going to draft you. And I go out and I just lace him up and just catch on fire. Trey, slow down, man. We know who you are. Nebraska still wants you, wants to keep you around. Boy, but what a rise it's been for him.
Well, I mean, I talked to several people that were out there because obviously I wasn't out in California, but I did talk to some folks out there, both Sean and Steve Sipple about that a little bit, and some other folks too. And it was funny because Trey would be off sitting on the side, there were some down periods, right? Where they had to give everybody 15 minutes and it was, nothing was done in parallel. It was all serial. So they just went back to back to back. And so guys would have, extended amount of time that they were down, but people would walk by and go, well, there's the MVP. And they'd see Trey and they go well, everybody else is fighting for second. It was kind of one of those Top Gun, Iceman, Maverick lines, where, everybody else is fighting for second because here's the first place guy. And that was literally what was happening out there in that space. Of those literal words and types of situations were happening. But I think what's really important here, I mean, beyond everything, I think that this is the part to me that really stands up and says everything you need to know about Trey Taylor. He worked so hard to put himself into this position. I'm not going to tell you that he's not capable and couldn't go out there without, some the great preparation that he did and not be able to fare well already. I mean, he would be able to do it. He has the tools, but he really grinded to go out there and, put out there that, his best possible body of work. And I think that that's the part that always resonates with me when it comes to talking about Trey. He does a terrific job preparing himself. He's prepared himself physically. He's done so mentally with his coach and taking calls at 5:30 in the morning and going through all the stuff that you need to kind of go through that a college player would kind of go through, or even a pro player would go through. So I think that this is a big, huge payoff for Trey. It's a massive payoff for Nebraska potentially. And obviously Trey's already back. He's living in Lincoln. He's working out with Millard South. And Tay Ellis is obviously up there as well. I think things couldn't honestly be any more right in the world than what they are right now when it comes to the quarterback commit and maybe the future keys of the offense being handed over to what we probably can assume would be the Elite 11 champion, after the opening.
Before we get to this weekend and what it means for Nebraska, what did Nebraska see in Trey whenever they first offered him? They were in on this recruitment early, and this was a recruitment that did blow up pretty early, but what specifically about Trey's game stood out to Nebraska, and what stood out to, I guess, college football evaluators everywhere?
I think he was just out in front of everybody. I mean, I think he's kind of the guy that I think that when he was 16 years old and, stepping off that flight for the first time and they're looking at this kid and, and he's not 30 pounds heavier like he is now. And he's not as developed as he is now. I think that they saw those high points in the game that really, convinced him that this guy is going to be special. He had arm strength. He had maturity. He was an on the field game manager. He's an extension of the coaching staff. I think he was just a very charismatic, hardworking guy. And I think that, I don't want to sit there and dog on him any more than what people already do, but I think when you put things in kind of comparison to what was happening with your previous quarterback, those were maybe the things, of course, that you wanted. You wanted some mobility. You wanted to still have that strong arm, but you wanted to have that capability to kind of get outside the pocket and make some things happen. You need to have a guy that's not just checking down, and that's a big thing because, like the Elite 11, some folks I talked about at the Elite 11, a lot more of those Elite 11 guys, especially in the 7-on-7 scenarios, they took the checkdowns a lot more than Trey would challenge the length of the field. And I think Nebraska fans are ready for that. I think there were some throws that Trey could make where he is putting it into such a tight window. There was one that Sean Callahan posted, I think, from Saturday, or maybe it was Sunday. But it basically, you had like a 9-foot kind of thing with a guy running towards the end of the end zone. Trey drops it in there with a defensive back, right off of his hip. And I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. I mean, as the guy's kind of going away, there was no angle whatsoever. It had to just be dropped in perfectly. Like you're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. You have a small window. You either hit it or you're going to skip off of it and go in the middle of space. Like that is exactly what that kind of throw looked like to me. And I think he has a maturity and he has a work ethic that I don't know if I've ever really come across it before. I'll be honest with you. I think he's incredibly dedicated to his craft. He obviously gets a lot of that from his dad, being a Hall of Fame guy himself with Southern Illinois. So that's a big thing. He grew up in the right environment and he had the right mindset about what he wanted to do with his life.
Brian, I wanted to ask you, just kind of get into this whole recruiting weekend and some of the visit board that is setting up. I want to get a temperature check on a couple of position groups in particular with Corey Brown, the defensive line, and Rob Dvorak with the linebacker room with the recent news that Kobe Rhymes, the linebacker out of Missouri, was going to be committing to Missouri and staying there. What does the board look like now for those two position groups? And you can even lump Roy Manning in the edge room in there as well, if you like. And just where are the top targets for this? We'd heard names like Nehemiah Ambadi, Errol DeMontagnac was going to be a couple. We're going to be a couple of names in that D-line room for Rob Dvorak, for Corey Brown, even Roy Manning. Are there any recruits in particular or any prospects that you're looking at this weekend as Nebraska potentially could lock down or at least get close to locking down after a visit?
Yeah, the defensive line looks a lot better this weekend than the other two positions that you mentioned, both edge and at regular linebacker. And we'll touch base on those a little bit more. But you mentioned Ambadi, you mentioned DeMontiak. I'm not saying that right, but it's kind of a yak ending with the GN and GNAC end to that name. Ural is his first name, but I think that Nebraska's got those two guys coming in this weekend. I feel good about both of them. I think I stuck my neck out a little bit more on Nehemiah than what other people are willing to do, but I feel like there's a tremendous reason why. I think that he is just short of hearing from Nebraska, and Greg Smith actually kind of confirmed this morning in his report, and I kind of said it the other day. He needs to just understand where Nebraska sees him fitting in, what position, how do they plan to develop him? What do they think that they can do for him to get him ready for the days of football beyond, playing football in Lincoln? He's very concerned about that. And I think he wants to find a very versatile role, which I think Nebraska is capable of doing, because I think Ambadi has got a tremendous first step. I think he's very quick. I think Earl is the same way. I think both those guys are very quick. They get upfield, they get their lower half on a surfboard, they get upfield and get past, the offensive lineman. But I think that the defensive line, is going to get a boost. I put in a prediction for both of those guys actually to end up at Nebraska. I feel less good about Ambadi right now, but I think we'll know a lot more about that on Sunday and Monday. He plans on making a fairly early commitment. If everything kind of goes the way that he thinks it's going to go, we could hear as soon as I want to say Wednesday from him about a commitment. I think edge. You bring up edge, and you brought up with Coach Manning, and I think you bring up Coach Dvorak and linebacker. Those two positions right now, the board is not very clear, and it is not very good. You're kind of dependent on waiting until the 12th You're going to get Chris Caskey to come in. He's coming for his first visit. He's really teammates with Henry Sakalas. Sakalas is a linebacker, a hybrid, kind of nickel linebacker that's coming in. Those two guys are high school teammates of one another. Caskey looked like he was all but sewn up for Missouri. Sakalas kind of gets him to back off of committing like right away and give Nebraska at least a look. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough not just for Caskey. I think it's going to be tough with Sakalas. I think Sakalas has got some really good ties to Illinois and to Michigan State. That's going to be difficult, I think, to kind of get around. You do bring in another linebacker this weekend, Eli Harris, another guy from Grayson High School. I know they're working on Aaron Brown, another Grayson High School linebacker, but Aaron Brown is not set up an official visit yet with Nebraska. Eli's coming there this weekend as, maybe kind of a Kobe Rhymes looking, very active, undersized linebacker, which you don't really know I don't really know if that fits very well, like in a 4-2-5, I guess that's maybe my biggest question. Like, I don't really know how that body type kind of fits, but we'll have to wait and see, how that kind of works. And then I think that they're also going to have an edge there this weekend as well. That's coming in just to kind of work out. He actually was there yesterday. Jason Armbruster from North Bend, Washington, was there for big man camp yesterday and worked out. So I'm interested to kind of hear what they have to say about him. But linebacker and edge are definitely two big mysteries to me when it comes to what's going on the big board and whether or not Nebraska could actually get, any of those 4 or 5 guys I just really talked about. I think defensive line is going to work out. You got Jaden Travers already there. I think you're going to add at least one more guy, if not 2. And then I think then your biggest question marks then shift back to edge and linebacker.
Now, Brian, stepping back, 60,000-foot view, we know June's a busy month. It's a big and important month. Now we zero back into just this first weekend. In looking at it, how important is success for Nebraska out of the first weekend to build momentum, right? Because you look at it, you can go here, then you go, all right, yeah, we got next weekend. But so look at that first weekend, all the parts, all the pieces, and how important. But then kind of try and define success coming out for Nebraska out of that first weekend.
Yeah, so here's how I kind of define that. So I think that, you obviously got a number of commitments coming in. I think you got a real pipe dream, and Albert Simeon coming in. I think that, Nebraska's still taking, wants to swing their sword with him a little bit more and see what if they can get him and add him to the class. That's great. But I think to really measure success this weekend, we're talking about, 4, maybe 5 guys that maybe potentially join this class relatively quickly. You start talking about, another wide receiver and Matthew Gregory to kind of add to Ellis and to Caden Howard. He comes in this weekend. I think you start talking about your best 2 possibilities at cornerback. I think you talk about Jalen Hill from Bellflower, California, and he's still looking around. Like, I think he's going to be transferring to a different high school. And then you have Bryce Williams from Fort Lauderdale, who's coming in this weekend too. Oklahoma's pushing pretty hard for Bryce right now. We'll see what kind of happens after this weekend. Then you start talking about the 2 defensive tackles I brought up. I feel pretty decent on them. You got a tight end coming in Joey Hunter. He obviously visited Nebraska. Actually, this is going to be his first visit to Nebraska. Nebraska's come in very late with him, but they made quite a significant, kind of move with him, particularly since they got a couple guys from Grayson to join the class. I think that's really helped kind of take some pressure off there and help out. So you're looking at probably your top tight end, like remaining, and, that's down Terwilliger and, down Hudson, some other big names that came off the board. But I'll tell you, like the one guy right here that we haven't mentioned yet, but I think Nebraska has to go out there and really impress him is Monato Mo, and he is an edge from Provo, Utah. He committed to Minnesota last weekend, still coming to Nebraska this weekend because he wants to see what they're all about. He could be like the best remaining kind of like edge, maybe other than Caskey, but maybe the best remaining guy on the board that Nebraska has a real shot to get. And he's actually committed to another Big Ten school. So it's kind of wild there, but you read his comments. It just kind of explains or lets people know like where recruiting is really at, about like I committed, but it's really, I still got to go see something. And it's just the kind of current state of affairs. It is what it is.
Well, that's a strange one, right? He's the guy who committed and then within an hour took down that commitment post. Is that right?
He did.
That's interesting.
He absolutely did. So I think you start talking about the two the two cornerbacks. You got to get them in the class. You get your opposite wide receiver. I think then you got to get one of the two, if not both of the defensive linemen, and potentially, sew up your tight end, and then you circle back on the edge. I think this weekend really sets the tone for everything else that can happen in the month of June. If you missed here, if this weekend is a total absolute stinker, and I don't think it's going to be, I'll just say that. But if it's an absolute stinker, the pressure it puts on the other 2 weekends of the month of June is going to be significant.
Brian, just before we get you on, I wanted to ask you quickly, if they are able to come out of this weekend with a couple of successful visits, right, and they're able to get commitments, whether that be now, whether that be later in the month of June, and they start to fill this class up, does that then open the pool up and open the timeline up for, if Nebraska starts out really good, to start taking some big swings on some of these guys that are maybe higher up the board that weren't realistic targets at the start, but maybe now that they have more resources and more time and more star power under their belt, they can start taking some big swings and some guy in the class who may already be committed or are some higher profile guys that they could come back and circle back on?
Well, we've heard that that's the plan before with Nebraska, but it's just never really seemed to work. But I think that there's an X factor this year, and we talked about him, and it's Trey Taylor. Trey Taylor could get to work, and if Nebraska does do something, I think we all agree it's a tough schedule. I think I got over under at 7. If you're talking though, that maybe you knock off a team that you're not supposed to knock off, or at least you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, would be a really good season this year. But I think if you have a guy advocating for you like Trey Taylor is, on top of what is going on with the coaching staff, I think it could allow things to stay and remain fluid. I think Nebraska would have a good understanding of where they're at with cap space. I think they would understand where they're at with the money. I think that they could then make a move like what you're suggesting, in the months of the fall leading up to signing day, because I think we all know, until the ink hits the paper, anything can kind of happen. And now in this day and age where money, it definitely plays a part, and these trips are really, really business trips versus just kind of going in there for a game. They're sitting down and they're talking about it. They're talking about compensation. They're talking about all those things. So, yeah, I think it's possible, but I think it's definitely going to be a challenging season, to kind of keep everybody focused on what's really happening out there on the field and just, trying to do well.
Definitely a lot of stuff coming up this weekend and the whole month of June. And we got our guy, Brian Munson, HuskerOnline.com. They always bring us the updates as well every Tuesday. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on a Thursday with us as well.
Yeah, dude. We'll get back on the Tuesday thing. It'll be right after the weekend. And I think we'll be feeling a commitment on Tuesday, possibly Wednesday too. Let's just put that out there.
There you go. Brian Munson, HuskerOnline.com. Appreciate you, brother. Take care of yourself.
See you guys. Have a good weekend.
Brian Munson, HuskerOnline.com. Let's take our final break. Come back with stories that we missed. A little teaser.
We're going to get into it with stories that we missed, but wide receivers are getting paid.
Woo!
They're getting paid. Did you see the money Drake London got?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. $140 million.
There was another one that just got that's near and dear to your heart. We'll talk about
that. That is really interesting with what they let happen this offseason. Really interesting. Because you let Dobbs walk, and you didn't want to pay him $70 million. But you're going to pay this guy $110. That's a gamble. That's a gamble. Now, they showed a little faith. If you'll remember, this particular individual that we will get into came to the end of his contract. They threw him a 1-year, $13 million extension, like an olive branch. They threw him a branch of goodwill and said, hey, we understand your ACL rehab's going on. We want to give you this year. Rehab, come back and perform for us. And he performed. In his 10 games that he played, he performed. Put up 600-yard seasons. Yeah, I think they're looking at this as a potential upside move, rather than this is the on-field production. The Drake London money is, you gave us an 1,100 yard and then a 900-yard season back to back. We'll pay you the money.
That's hey, we'll get the quarterback situation right at some point, but we'll take care of you in the meantime.
Yeah. And I don't think he cares. He got $140 million in his pocket. He'll make it work. And I've never seen Drake London as a prima donna. That's why I always like Drake London. He is a big body, get the business wide receiver, and he's really good.
Here's the question.
Question coming in.
Is he a back end of the first round fantasy guy this year? Is he that good?
I don't know, man, but he got $100 million guaranteed.
I don't know, but he got $100 million.
$100 million guaranteed.
Well, I'm just thinking here.
They're paying him like it.
Guys that are going to be in the first round as wide receivers, for sure, Jamar Chase. Despite the quarterback situation, probably Justin Jefferson.
Always.
Who else are you looking at from a wide receiver point of view?
If Malik Neighbors is healthy,
I wouldn't count on that. I'm not drafting him in the first round.
If he's healthy, though, you probably do. He's really good.
I'm not confident he's healthy. I'm sure as heck not taking Christian Watson. Sorry, Christian Watson, but
Puka.
Oh, JSN.
Oh, yeah.
JSN. I'm just bringing up the stats here.
Yeah, JSN and Puka.
Only the offensive player of the year.
Because after you get through JSN and Puka, Drake London might be the next best.
Drake London's really good. I really like Drake London.
I'm just kind of looking at overall.
Smith and Jigba, Puka, Jamar Chase.
Are you going at Pickens? He had 1,429 last year.
I'm taking Drake London.
I'm on St. Brown.
I'm
just throwing out your top yard getters, receivers.
Does CeeDee Lamb get a toss?
How about I think a sneaky one out there. Maybe Chris Olave is a sneaky one.
Listen, this might be a hot
situation.
I think I'm taking Drake London over CeeDee Lamb this year. Should we check and see what the what? To be fair, I'm also a half-point PPR league, which
you're a half point. Okay.
Yeah. This one's got Drake London at 7th behind Chase, Puka, JSN, Amon-Ra, CD, and Justin Jefferson. That's your top 6, and then Drake London. And they have Rashee Rice 8. I'm not taking him.
That's a no.
That's a criminal.
Nope.
Lock him up and throw away the key.
You go
for 30 days. Do you think Tyreek kept kidding?
It's raining on the south side.
It was raining earlier.
Here?
Yeah. A little sprinkle.
Mess everything up today.
Let's get a little sprinkle.
Yeah, Justin's probably on it here. He says in PPR, yes, first round, non-PPR, no on Drake London.
Yes, on, yep.
That's probably fair.
I really like Drake London, though, man. That's one of my favorite receivers to watch in the NFL. He just big physical, gets to work. And he's nasty in the run game. You seen him block?
Oh, yeah.
He's nasty in the run game. I like it. Probably why they're paying him $150 million. Sorry, 141. 150 if he hits incentives, though.
Drake London also just strikes you as the ultimate guy that's still going to be playing in 15 years.
He's so durable.
Yeah.
Like he's just big body, physical. That's what you need.
Big-bodied, physical wide receiver that's a really clean route runner.
Very clean route runner.
He's not relying on overwhelming physicality, physical traits, I should say, to go beat you in his route.
His get-offs are really good.
Yeah, all the qualities of talking about a guy that usually sticks and stays a long time in the NFL.
All right, we're coming back.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Special thanks to Brian Munch from HuskerOnline.com. Let's go.
A secret place. Take me away.
Just a downplayed version of the show Glee on the morning hookup.
I should have gone up. I should have gone up an octave.
You tried to. You pointed it. You weren't ready.
No, it's too early in the morning.
The lights are too bright.
Turn
those lights off.
Is that on the agenda? Is there a go? Can we have karaoke weekend?
Well, this
or does somebody bring in the machine?
Karaoke is on the docket this weekend. Yeah,
we're gonna need it.
Was that a female or a male idea?
Yeah, there ain't no male saying we're going to karaoke unless it's at the bar.
We all know the answer to that.
This guy gets
Come on, man.
We all know the answer to that. Or Hugh Malone. who met his wife at karaoke.
That's true.
Shout
He was
out.
a special breed, though.
Yeah, he is. He's a different
One
type.
of a kind.
Shout out to you.
Shout out.
I do actually. This is diving into the radio secrets here. I warm up my voice every single day driving into work by listening to music and singing along loudly. Because Apple Music has karaoke mode.
Yeah.
So I turned down the lyrics just a little bit.
I thought it was one of those like tongue twister things you.
Oh, I do those too. That's more for play-by-play. If I'm coming in here, in the morning, once I get up, there's no one else in the house, so it's me talking to like the dogs, which they don't make great conversation. So the voice is usually still pretty tired sounding.
Some would say that dogs make the best conversation because they don't talk back.
I just rant to myself about what I hate, which is usually one of the teams in the NL Central, the teams in the NFC North, the San Antonio Spurs. What else? What else has really aggravated me? Other countries who don't call soccer soccer. Yeah, that's about.
How about wide receivers getting a buttload of cash?
Oh, we should probably get into that.
The stories we miss. The morning hookup.
It is out there. Wide receivers are getting paid. Sources saying Packers wide receiver Christian Watson has reached a $110.5 million extension over 4 years. It includes a $31 million signing bonus. That comes the second biggest signing out of the second signing of a receiver in Green Bay, as a few other times ago. 3 years, $50.25 for Jalen Reed.
Hey, shout out. They're locking down their guys.
And Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Locking down their guys.
So a lot of wide receivers. You got to go back. All this might's being thrown around. Do you guys remember who we have to thank for this?
Jamar Chase?
The Jacksonville Jaguars and Christian
yes.
Kirk.
Yes.
Whenever out of nowhere to kick off free agency, they paid him, what was it, like a 3-year, $90 million contract or something like that.
Still looks bad.
Yeah. Hey, he was decent for my fantasy team, though. Thank you, Christian Kirk, because nobody wanted Christian Kirk, so you get him at good value, and he was getting like 8 targets a game.
Shout out my guy Drake London. $141 million, and for 4 years, get your business done, young man. That's what I'm talking about.
Honestly, not a bad deal. We talked about this during the break for Atlanta. You're taking care of your guy while you don't have a quarterback for him, so you take care of him, keep him happy until you get your quarterback in order.
Third highest paid wide receiver behind Jamar Chase and JSN.
Wow. Good stuff. Guys, have a great trip.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, Jeff Moats and a whole lot more. You guys have a great Thursday. Try to stay dry out there. Be safe. Catch you on a Friday.